I'm going to talk about is how we construct a scale. What is a scale? Well, scale is a series of notes that we play consecutively. So for example, if you look at a piano keyboard, you'll see various white notes and various black notes. Now, in order to construct a scale, what we do is we relate 7 letters of the alphabet to notes, for example, on a keyboard. So the letters being A, B, C, D, E, F and G. Okay, so most people will start learning an instrument and will learn the first major scale, which is C. So we take C as the first note, and then we work up 8 notes, which is an octave from there. So that would mean that we would go C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then C again. And you'll note that when I get to G, I start with the first letter of the alphabet. Okay, so just to say that the major scale of C would be C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. And it's important to say that at this stage, that whatever scale you're putting together, you will always use all of those 7 letters. You will never use them one after the other. So you would never go A, B, B, C, C. You would always go up A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then start again at A. So hopefully that makes sense to you. So how do we construct a scale then? Well, as I said before, on a piano keyboard you have white notes and you have black notes. And a scale could be made up of all white notes, or it could be made up of a combination of white notes and black notes. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you to the keyboard. I'm going to show you the methodology that we use to construct a major scale. Okay? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you about how we construct a scale in music. And there's just a little bit of information I need to pass to you to begin with. And that is, when we're constructing the scales, we all need to know what these intervals are. So how we move from note to note, okay? So if we move from here to here, that's just one movement. That is known as a semitone. From here to here is a semitone. From here to here is a semitone. From there to there is a semitone, because we're just moving up one space. If we're to go from here to here, so we're moving up 2 spaces, that is called a tone. So that's a tone, this is a tone. If we go from here to here, we're going up 2, that's also a tone. Okay, and the methodology that we use to be able to construct a scale is using tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. So first of all, we're going to construct the scale of C. So how do we find C on a keyboard? Well, you can see there's a series of white notes and there's a series of black notes on the keyboard. And there are also, the black notes are divided into a section of 2 and 3, 2 and 3. Now you will always find C on a keyboard by going to the 2 black notes that are together, and you go to the left of the bottom one. So that's a C. If we go down here, this is also a C. Okay, and the way that we construct it is tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. So if we start on C, we go up a tone, that's a tone, another tone. Now we need to go up a semitone this time, and then a tone, 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 semitone. So our scale of C. Now the easiest thing to do is write down the scale of C, starting from C, then using the 7 alphabetic letters. So C, D, E, F, G. And as I said, you start again, A, B, C. And if you write those down, then that will give you the scale of C. Now obviously there are all these black notes here, so we'll now do another scale, and we're going to do the scale of G. So to work out the scale of G, start at C, C, D, E, F and G. So we do the same methodology, so tone, tone, then semitone, then tone, tone. Now we need a tone next time, so if we go here, that's just a semitone, so we need to go 2 spaces. So this here is a black note. So as I say, you write down all the letters from G, G, A, B, C, D, E, F and G. So we're going to do something to one of those notes within the scale in order to make it a black note. So we go tone, 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 semitone, tone, tone. Now we need a tone, so we need to go to the right of it. So F is now sharpened to F sharp, and it goes to a G. I'll show you another example. So if you start on D, so write all the letters down, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. Okay, so you're going D, there's a tone, E is a tone, F is next door, so we need to sharpen that to F sharp, then G is a semitone, then it's a tone, tone. Now we need another tone, so we need to go to the C and we need to sharpen it. Going to the right is sharpening it, and then D. Okay, so the way that the scale of D works is... Okay, now I'm going to do one using another black note, but we're going to do something slightly different. So we're going to start on this black note here. Okay, so we know that this is E, C, D, E. Now if we go to the left of it, it means that we're flattening it. So we're going to start on E flat. So you write down E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E on your piece of paper, but you put a flat at the side of the E. So tone, tone, semitone. So E, F is a tone, tone is a G. Now the next letter we want is an A, okay? But we don't need an A, we need an A flat because we've got to go semitone. Then we need another tone, so we're going to the B, but we've got to flatten it. And then C is a tone, then D, then E flat. Okay, so... And that's our scale of E flat. Now for every major scale, there is a relative minor. What are minor scales? Well, for every major scale, there is a relative minor scale. And the way that we work that out is we take the sixth note from the root note of the scale, so the scale of C. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 takes us to A. So A minor is the relative minor scale to A major, which means there's no sharps and flats. Okay, let's take the scale of G major, which has one sharp, go up 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, takes us to E. So the scale of E minor is E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E. Now let's take a scale that's got a flat in it. So let's take the scale of F. That's F major. Go up 6 from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Takes us to D. So the relative minor of F major is D. Okay, now there is a particular model that you can use called the circle of fifths that can help you determine which is the relative minor scale to the relative major. So on the outside we've got all the major scales, and on the inside we've got all the minor scales. So all of these go 6 progressions up from the root note. And on the outside here are all the flats and sharps that we know are relative to these particular scales. And we know that because we've already done tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. But this is a little methodology whereby we can work out in what order they appear on a piece of music. So they will all appear first 1 sharp, then you build up to 2, then 3 sharps, 4 sharps, and so on. So if we go up 5 from C, we all start from the scale or key of C, go up 5, C, D, E, F, G. We know that F sharp, there is 1 F sharp in the scale of G because we've already worked it out. And if we go up to D, there are 2 sharps. Now, there is a way of being able to remember the order. Now, I was taught Frederick Charles goes down and enters battle. So, Frederick for the F. Then you leave the F and you add the C sharps, that's Charles. Then you add the G for goes, then down and enters battle. And similarly, we go down from the scale of C. So, C, B, A, G, F. We work out the F has got 1 flat in it. And then we can work out how we add the flats on as a key signature. So battle ends and down goes Charles Frederick. Now these 3 scales, D flat, C sharp, is exactly the same note, and G flat and F sharp is exactly the same note, and C flat and B is exactly the same note. But they're known slightly differently because when we do a scale, I've told you before that we have to use every single letter of the alphabet. Well, sometimes we have to call a C flat a B a C flat. So we know B sits here and C sits here. But for the purposes of some scales, we have to call this a C flat. Okay, these are known as enharmonic scales, and this is something we'll be talking about later on. I know it sounds a little bit confusing at the moment. Now, for the purposes of this exercise, we don't need to know an awful lot more now, but what I'm going to do is next time, look out for my vlog, because we're going to be talking about diatonic scales, and the circle of fifths and the key signatures and the sharps and flats are the basic foundations of any songwriting or composing.